Hey, I'm your humble host, Phys Ed Music, and this right here, this is Urban Politics. Want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance after this video, take your cell phone over to YouTube, like and subscribe. Phys Ed Music, Urban Politics. Before I do get into it, just like a car and drive, I want to talk about how I wasn't here last week. Last week, I took a little hiatus because it was my birthday. My birthday was June 9th. I'm 47 years young, so now I'm back at you again like I never left this week with Urban Politics, but that's where I was last week. So, sorry about that. I probably should have told you about that the week before, but it kind of slipped my mind. You believe that? Kind of forgot about my own birthday. I guess because a lot of times I'm definitely, I feel younger than I am. And sometimes I do forget my age. I think I've even mentioned that on the show, that sometimes I let the gray grow in so I can remember that I'm an old man, meaning I can't do young man stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm an older brother, so I gotta move and act and think and behave as an older brother would and not as a younger brother would, right? So there's that, but now I'm back with you. I'll be back with you. We're going to take another hiatus because I got to go on vacation, ladies and gentlemen. Got to do something with the fam this summer, and I'm trying to get to a beach or something. But when that's coming, I'll definitely let you know the show before. Word. All right. So now I'm going to get right into it like a car and drive. Let's talk about the hot button topic, the debt ceiling. We go through this all the time. And we just went through it again. Joe Biden signed bipartisan legislation to pay America's bills. Joe Biden said nobody got all that they wanted, but the American people got what they needed. The GOP always uses the debt ceiling debate as a to hold America hostage, basically, and try to get stuff. That's what they do. There was legislation that would have made the debt ceiling debate irrelevant because it would have made it like automatic, that America would just pay its debts as it needs to when that time comes, which it should be automatic anyway. Of course, what party voted it down? The Republicans. Why? Because they love to use the debt ceiling debates as a political football. They love to use it to get stuff, right? Now, whenever there's a Republican president and we have to raise the debt ceiling, it just gets done. The Democrats don't play no games with that because basically that is the credit and the full faith and credit of the United States. So when you play games with it, it doesn't look good, and that can bring your credit rating down. Even if you don't, even when we have these fights, but the bill always gets paid. It always gets paid at the 11th hour, but it always gets paid on time. Just that infighting can make your credit rating go down. It's not a good look. But we do it all the time, and we do it all the time because Republicans love to do it. Now, like I said, when there's a Republican president, the Democrats raise the debt ceiling without fanfare. It doesn't even make the news. It's just a formality, which it should be anyway, because this is money that America has already spent. It's already spent. It's like a credit card coming due at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? So this is money that America has already spent, so obviously they have to pay it back. But the Republicans like to play the little games like they played with this one. Of course, there's tons of stuff that Joe Biden has been able to get off. You know what I'm saying? Tons of things that he promised he was going to do and he was able to do. Some of that they wanted to pull back. I know a big one that I think they were able to get rid of altogether was the student loan forgiveness, which is pathetic because how much was it? $10,000, $20,000? That ain't nothing. I would say the average American, if they have student loans, they're HE double hockey sticks a lot more than $20,000. But the Republicans had a problem with that. He had to, I think, take that off the table. And some other concessions had to be made, but he did what he had to do because, you know what I'm saying, America can't falter on its bills. It can't not raise that debt ceiling. And Republicans know that. That's why they play this game all the time. Like I said, Democrats never play it because it's not a game to be played. And when you play that game, that also makes America's credit go down. There was legislation. Oh, I talked about that. More Democrats than Republicans voted for it. Members of the Freedom Caucus say that Speaker McCarthy could still lose his speakership or be asked to step down. What do they want from this guy? What do they want from him? How about this? They don't even know what they want from him. They mad at McCarthy? They don't know why they mad. Some of them are mad because they claim he hasn't went hard enough for the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene or Laura Boebert. You know what I'm saying? Buffoons, but they claim that he hasn't went hard enough for them, even though they're bat-ish crazy. Excuse my language, they are, but they don't think he's defended them enough. There's some people who don't think he's defended Trump enough. He barely got that job, and now he doesn't look good holding on to it. So there's some of them who are saying he can still be ousted. They didn't like the deal that he struck with Biden. some of these Freedom Caucus members we're not going to be happy with any deal because they don't want a deal. They want to destroy the government. They want government to go bye-bye. So you don't raise the debt ceiling when you want to dismantle the government and get rid of the government. And that's how a lot of these Freedom Caucus people are. And it's funny because they talk about how Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they hate America. They hate American values. These people hate America. They hate democracy. They're trying to get rid of it. They want it to go away. And that is the reason they play these games, trying to cripple America, because they want it all to go away. A lot of these people feel like we need to scrap it all and start from scratch, which is garbage, because their start from scratch is starting from nothing because they don't have anything on the table or any ideas to replace the ideas that they say suck. That's the GOP for you. Anyway, moving on. There's that. Joe Manchin. That dude, Joe Manchin, has the audacity to say, we're going to talk about why did Democrats wait to the 11th hour, and we need to figure out how we got here. That's what he's going to say. We need to figure out how we got here. Joe, we know how we got here. We got here because Trump gave his rich buddies a $1.4 trillion tax break, blew a hole in the deficit. A lot of other Republican presidents blew holes in the deficit, not that big, but they added a lot more to it. Do the math, ladies and gentlemen. Do the research. I'm not making this up. I'm not pulling this out of you-know-where. This is real life. Usually when there's a Republican president, they add monstrous amounts to the deficit. They do. And then they're the main ones running around talking about how debt is too high and the spending in Washington is out of control. But then they boy Trump gave his rich buddies a $1.4 trillion tax break. Really? 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 See what I'm saying? These are the games that they play. So that's what's going on. We know how we got here, Mr. Manchin. You know what I'm saying? How did we get here? We know how we got here. But he would talk that stuff too because he's another, gazillionaire making a bunch of money off, living off the fat of the land, so to speak. So that is what it is. But like I said, they did raise that debt ceiling the way they're supposed to. They did kick the can down the road. That's what they do. So now going forward, we'll see what happens as far as they were saying that too. Is this opened any doors for Republicans and Democrats maybe being able to get along and come together on some legislation? No, not any better than they were before this because this wasn't good. This didn't work out good. McCarthy is still getting hate from his side because they're mad that he made any deal at all. And Joe Biden had to give up a whole bunch of stuff just to pay America's bills. So it's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. But of course, the media wants to paint a picture. Now Democrats and Republicans are getting together and we might see some bipartisan legislation. No, we won't. Anyway, not any more than we would have seen anyway. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about, it's so interesting to me because I really, if you can't tell, I get into fashion. I love clothes. I love looking good. I've always told my children, look, no matter what's going on, you need to show up smelling good, looking good, and talking good. Be articulate, know the terminology of the technology, all of that good stuff. You see what I'm saying? And some of y'all figure me out there, you know what I'm saying? You got to have the right words. You got to speak right? So, I get into all of that. I get into looking good and all that stuff. So I get into fashion real tough. My little sister, she gets into name brands and all that good stuff. I ain't had the money for that in years. I just get into looking good. You know what I'm saying? So this story blew me away. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. There's a vast pile of discarded clothes in the desert, so big that it's visible from space. A pile of clothes containing everything from Christmas sweaters to ski boots was located in the Atacama Desert in North Chile. Wow. One side of the pile is more than 1,000 feet across. Chile has long served as a hub for secondhand and unsold clothing that is imported into the country from Europe, Asia, and the U.S. before being resold around Latin America. I didn't know that. 59,000 metric tons of clothing arrive each year to this place. Some is smuggled out of the country to other parts of Latin America, but at least 39,000 metric tons ends up in the desert. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. That blows me away to think that all this discarded clothing and all that is in that desert. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to go and look around. I also love thrift stores and thrifting. My clothing style is old school. You know what I'm saying? I like you know, like the 70s type. I like a big thick tie. I like some of that stuff. I bet some of that stuff is in this desert here. I read a thing, I think maybe it was like a 2020 episode or you know what I'm saying, expose I was watching, and they were talking about old jeans and how they said they were showing how these guys were going down in the mines and getting like 100-year-old jeans and using them and making new jeans out of them. How this was expensive jeans and stuff like that because, you know, all the painstaking lengths they were going through to make them. I was blown away. I would love to do something like that. This right here, I know there's a treasure trove of all types of material and fabric and clothing from different places and different types of jeans and all that stuff here in this desert. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to just go and look around. But it also blows me away the waste. The waste we have in this world. I can't even just say in this country, in this world, because this is international right here. This is a desert in Chile. This got all this waste, all these discarded clothes. And then I'm like, man, fashion industry, what are y'all doing? You know, I guess maybe we don't need 300, you know, copies of the same shirt. Maybe 30 is enough, especially if we know we only gonna sell 10. You know, I mean, there's a lot of extra clothes out here, ain't there? So that means there's a lot of extra fabric. You never hear of a shortage on fabric. I did hear that they were saying something about how much water it takes to make clothes. And they were saying in an effort to try and save water and water conservation, they should do some things differently with how they make clothes and such. But I haven't heard any more talk about that in a long time anyway. They were saying something about it took so many gallons of water to make a pair of jeans or something like that. I don't know. So there's that too. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different ways we could be saving, but it's interesting how this fashion has just become a lot of waste in a desert somewhere. But like I said, I would love to go through those clothes. I would love to go out there and just take a look at all this and just see what's out there because I love thrift stores. And I love thrifting. And that would be a thrifter's paradise, wouldn't it? All right. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Mario English, shall we not? All right. Buckingham Palace explains why it won't return the remains of an Ethiopian prince. Now, when I read that, I was like, wow, here we go again. See, this is the reason why people are mad at you, you know what I'm saying, Prince Charles and all y'all over there, because y'all done went around stealing a bunch of stuff, and you just said you ain't gonna give it back. You know, people are like, yo, please, can you return this? Please, can you return this? Okay, that was a different time. Things was going on back then or whatever. You act like you want to make amends. You went around here saying that you're sorry for all the colonization and all that other madness. Okay, prove it and give us our stuff back. And they're like, nah, no. Now, I'm going to read their reasoning for not returning this young man's body. But I think the reason is garbage. And I think they're garbage for giving the reason. But let me read it anyway. So, Buckingham Palace explains why it won't return the remains of an Ethiopian prince. For more than a decade, campaigners have asked Britain to repatriate the body of Prince Alemehu. I'm messing this all up. Alemayyehu. Alemehu, who was buried at St. George Chapel when he died at 18 in 1879. The body is in the catacombs, right? So, and they claim that it would be impossible to identify and exhume the body without disruption. Yeah. So they claim that we got so many other bodies in these catacombs of famous people or whatever that, you know, other people whose remains we stole or whatever and got down there. It'd be hard for us to go down there, find this guy's body, you know what I'm saying, ID it correctly, and then bring it up without disturbing all the other bodies and remains of stuff that we've stolen. Well, cry me a river. You know what I'm saying? Really, I'm just like, man, the audacity of these people. That's y'all's rationale for not returning, you know what I'm saying, the body of royalty to Ethiopia. I mean, but this is the reason why. This is the reason why y'all couldn't get Harry Styles, you know what I'm saying, to perform. This is the reason why you couldn't get the Spice Girls to perform. This is the reason why Elton John, of all people, didn't want to perform, you know what I'm saying, at a royal event. Because this is pathetic right here. You know what I'm saying? Right here, y'all have had a chance, decade for, 10, 20 years, to return this young man, but you won't do it. Why? Because you stole him. right? I think he was on vacation. Read the story because it is fascinating. I did read it. I'm pretty sure either he was on vacation, somehow he ended up there. He wanted to leave. They wouldn't let him leave. He ended up dying there, but he had made it known before he passed away that he wanted to go home. He wanted to leave, and they would not let him. He passed away there, boom, so they keeping the body. So basically, once they stole him, like they stole a bunch of other stuff, and here's another stolen thing they won't return. Man, return the brother. Return the young man's body back to Ethiopia. You know? And I don't want to hear this crap about the catacombs. We don't want to destroy our precious catacombs. Shut up, man, and return that kid. This is ridiculous. But that's the reason why people don't have any patience for you, King Charles. No, you can't. King Charles. I don't have no patience for you, man, because you still on that same garbage that your mom was on. And you can't sit there and act like, oh, well, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you know exactly what's going on. Because y'all lightweight apologize for it, but obviously y'all didn't mean it. Because here's another example of a person who you won't let go. You know, here's another chance for y'all to make something right, and you don't even care. You don't want to make it right. Right? Because there was a time when, what did they say? The sun never set on the English Empire, on the British Empire. And y'all probably still hearkening back to those days, wishing it was still like that. It ain't been like that in a long time. It'll never be like that again. But y'all would love it if it still was. There's a lot of colonizing back then, huh? You want to hold on to those memories of colonization by holding on to people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like their jewelry, like their artifacts, and like their deceased royalty. Psh. England, thank you for disappointing me once again. All right, anyway, moving on. Last thing I'm going to talk about is some stuff going on here in the States. Some stuff going on with our mail carriers, right? So it says, if you see a paw print sticker on a mailbox, don't remove it, right? 5,300 mail carriers were bitten by dogs last year. I did not know that. That's something that, you know, always hear that joke about, you know, you always hear that joke about, you know what I'm saying, dogs chasing mailmen or stuff like that. But you never really think about that being a real thing, or at least I didn't so much, or I didn't think it was something that was prevalent at all. I just thought it was a joke or something that people would talk about. But 5,300, that's a lot, right? I mean, it's not a whole lot. It ain't in the millions or nothing, which that would be crazy. I don't think there's millions of mail carriers, but point being, 5,300 is actually a lot. Check it out. So it said the PAW program was rolled out in 2020, and it uses a color-coded system to inform carriers which houses have dogs. Pretty simple, right? And I don't know who came up with this. It was pretty brilliant. A yellow sticker means that there's a dog nearby. So if you see a yellow sticker on somebody's mailbox, that means that there's a dog in the vicinity. Maybe it ain't at this house, but maybe this person got a dog, or this person got a dog, or that person got a dog. Just be wary. There's a dog about. And orange means that that particular house has a dog. So if you see an orange sticker on the mailbox, they have a dog. They some dog owners up in there, right? And that's to alert mailman what's going on. That's good to know. They were saying, well, there was a lady talking about how did they get these stickers. They mailed them to homeowners and asked them, would they put the sticker on their mailbox? And I'm sure a lot of people comply, because this is just in the interest of mail carriers, you know, not getting hurt by dogs. I mean, let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes dogs trip, and sometimes they just bite people just because there's somebody who they don't know as good as they know the owner. And some dogs bite anybody who ain't the owner. So it's real good to try and give, you know what I'm saying, our mail carriers a little heads up when they're walking towards the house, right? They were saying that Cleveland ranked number 4 in the country for dog bites. Wow, they had 43 dog bites. And they were saying that, I guess the guy was saying that a lot of people would hear that and say, 43 dog bites, that ain't nothing, right? But he said, well, 43 employees were injured. So you might sit there and say, 43 dog bites, that ain't no big deal. Well, it is a big deal, because 43 employees were injured. And the dog bite, I mean, we don't know how serious that is or isn't. And then you don't know where they got bit. Dogs don't always just bite you in the butt, which is bad enough. They can bite you in the butt, they can bite you in the leg, they can bite you in the hand, they can bite you in the arm. If you're running from a dog, you fall, boom. If it wants to hit the face, boom. I guarantee you, some of these mail carriers caught a bite or two in the cheek or something, maybe 1 or 2. I'm sure somebody caught it in the arm, in the leg, in the thigh area. Let's pray not in the groin. Wouldn't that be the worst day of work for a mail carrier? But yeah, I bet some of these instances have happened. You know what I'm saying? So this sticker right here, I mean, will it save some lives? I don't know about all that, but it definitely helps some people not get hurt by some dogs out there. But I thought this was real interesting. Now, with this said, I don't think I've ever in my life seen a sticker on the mailbox. whether it was yellow or orange or anything else. I've never in my life seen a sticker on a mailbox. But I guess they said this was prevalent in Cleveland, and in a minute here they're gonna try and roll it out nationwide. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep an eye out for it because I think it's a good thing. And like I said, man, you know, I got the mail carriers backs, man. They bring in that mail. If you get checks in the mail, if you get anything in the mail, these guys and gals are bringing it to you. They deserve to go to work and not get bitten by a dog just because you don't know how to tie your dog up or make your dog more sociable so that doesn't freak out when anybody but you comes around. Even though these people just, you know, trying to do their job, they up in your yard, so now your dog is like, well, I'm about to go bite somebody I don't know. So there's that. So it's good to know that somebody thought about that and they're doing something about that. I'm going to be on the lookout for some of these stickers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. Once again, it is Gemini season, right? You know what I'm saying? It is June. I'm a Gemini. If you're a Gemini, man, drop me a line. Let me know what your birthday is. I want to say big up to my boy Brad. I think his birthday is, or was yesterday, June 10th. It's June 11th. My birthday was June 9th. I had a great time. My son's birthday is June 12th. My mom's birthday is June 13th. Geminis are good people. It's Gemini season, ladies and gentlemen. And that's my time, you know what I'm saying? And what can I say, man? As always, see you around like a donut.